Hi guys, welcome into Imagine Fantasy Football. Today we're gonna be doing a little mock draft. Instead today, because we only have 4 people, Rohan couldn't make it today, so here we are, all 4 of us. We're gonna do a little mock draft. Instead of the normal 12 teams, which we've been doing in the past, we're gonna do a little 10-team PPR mock, which is actually the size of our league that we all are in together, the Imagine Fantasy Football League. So let's just see how it's gonna work out. I want to be drafting out of the sixth spot. Don's going to be drafting out of the 2 spot. Tree's going to be drafting out of the 4 spot, and Arjun's going to be drafting at the 10 spot.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to have pretty standard roster settings today. It's going to be a PPR league, but there's only 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex. We're also going to have a defense mixed in there and 6 bench spots. No kickers because it is a mock draft. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. Don's going to be on the clock, and Dalvin Cook goes off the board at the 101.
Well, I was thinking, I knew I was going to take Dalvin, but now that McCaffrey's here, I have to take McCaffrey. That was kind of a weird pick by Team 1.
No, what a value right there. Christian McCaffrey falls to the 102. If that ever happens, you need to jump right on that. Christian
Exactly.
McCaffrey.
Yeah, a guy being a
Kobe
value at pick 2 speaks volumes to just how talented he is.
Exactly.
Oh my.
All right, now I got
Right, after
yeah, go ahead.
just after CMC goes, we see Alvin Kamara go off the board.
So I got pick 4 here. I'm just gonna go with Derrick Henry. Kind of obvious. Derrick Henry usually gonna go 3 in most of your drafts, but he
Well, maybe not
he fell to
anymore
4.
with the news of Michael Thomas.
I still
Yeah.
take him at 3.
Yeah, I'd go with Kamara, but yeah, I could see Henry, Kamara, one of those 2 or 3. Yeah, not a bad pick.
I'm not very happy because Nick Chubb went out at the 105. So now,
Tough.
I mean, all right. I'll just go with Zeke's on the board, Saquon, Barkley's on the board. And those are really the only 2 players I'm really considering right now. Zeke has that safety. He's going to be a safe guy for you to draft. He's going to be that rock solid RB1, mid to high RB1. He's never going to be like an RB1 on the week. He's not going to be doing that on a normal basis. But he's going to be in that top 10, top 12. He's never going to finish outside the top 24. The thing with Saquon Barkley, though, is that he can finish as that top 1 guy. And, while he does have some injury concerns right now, especially with him being on the pup list and all, I'm still going to pick Saquon Barkley here because I just want, while the risk is also is going to be like pretty high, the reward can just be unbelievable, like RB1 overall, RB2 overall, that kind of season from Saquon. So I think I'm going to pick Saquon and see, how the team could possibly turn out. After
Yeah,
Saquon goes off the board. All right, yeah.
I personally would have gone with Ezekiel Elliott just because he's a lot safer, and he's sort of, in my opinion, because the offensive line and Dak Prescott being there now, again, he does have sort of the same upside as Barkley, in my opinion, just because of that.
I don't think the same upside, but he
I
definitely
mean, he
has
was the
some.
RB3 last year with Dak Prescott. I think it was RB3, maybe RB4. So he's got the elite upside. So I understand the pick with Barkley. I would have just gone Zeke just because he's safer and has a good amount of upside with him as well. But
I agree with that,
Barkley's
John.
not a bad pick.
I agree with that.
For me, I just wanted that like week winning upside on a week
Yeah,
to
yeah.
week basis. I don't think Zeke can provide that. He's gonna be that like safety net for you that you don't need to like worry about. But I want to have that like guy that can boom for me and win me a week. I don't feel like Zeke can do that. But it's just a matter of preference at
Yeah,
that point.
you can't go wrong with either of them.
I mean, you can go wrong with Saquon.
Yeah, you can
man.
go wrong with it.
I mean, no. Picking at number 5, you can't go wrong with either of them. I'm picking at number 6.
I mean, again,
Saquon
Barkley
can go
just-
wrong for you, but
Yeah.
you can't go wrong. All right, never mind.
Okay, enough.
Just
Enough.
keep going.
You know,
All right,
you
after
move on.
Saquon goes off the board, we see Zeke, Travis Kelce, and Jonathan Taylor off the board. John's on the
Yeah,
clock.
so this actually worked out perfectly for what I wanted to do. The first guy I'm going to take is Aaron Jones. With the news, I mean, actually, to be honest, before we found out about this recent news that Aaron Rodgers will be playing for the Packers this season, I was not very high on Jones. But with Rodgers there, I think Jones has got. I mean, I think he's top 10. It's like a floor, to be honest with you, because from what we've seen the last 2 seasons, and he's got like a top 5 ceiling just because of how good he is with Rodgers. I mean, Aaron Jones he's got one of the best offensive lines in the game. He's a very talented receiving back, very talented running back. He just signed a new deal. Jamal Williams is gone. AJ Dillon's in as the backup, but he's not the blocking threat, the receiving threat that Jamal Williams was. So I think Jones, he's going to have a terrific season. And Jones, as we know, he has the 45, 50-point week upside that just so few guys have. So yeah, I'm thrilled to get him at 10. And then my next guy, I'm debating here between Austin Eckler and Antonio Gibson. I'm gonna go with Austin Eckler. Last year, once Eckler did come back from injury, Herbert seemed to only want to throw the ball to him and Keenan Allen. So I think Eckler should push for 80, 90 receptions at a minimum. And I do expect the rushing work to go up. So I think he's got a lot of upside as well. And in the Chargers offense that I expect to be very, very explosive.
Make sure to check out our breakouts video for more info on Austin Eckler.
Oh, yeah. But I was about to say, appreciate that, bro. I thought he was going to pick Gibby right there, and I was very scared. But if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it. Let's go. Antonio Gibson and Saquon Barkley. I love Antonio Gibson this year. I honestly think that he has that top 5 upside at the running back position. If he takes on that workhorse role, I could see him becoming like comparable to Christian McCaffrey levels of excellence at the running back position. So, I love Antonio Gibson. And as a talent, he's so good. He has – what are you doing?
I was going to say Gibby's one of the few guys you can get like late second round, maybe even early third round, depending if your league goes wide receiver heavy. He's one of the few guys you could get there who's truly got top 5, top 3 running back upside just because of how talented he is.
Love Antonio Gibson this year. So, anyways, after that, we see Stephon Diggs go off the board. So, 4 out of the last 5 picks have been wide receivers. Tree's on the clock.
Well, I'm going to take another wide receiver here. I'm going to take one of the last remaining elite wide receiver ones. You have A.J. Brown and Justin Jefferson, Calvin Ridley there. They're great wide receiver one, but DeAndre Hopkins is just elite. Hopefully he plays this year. That's the one thing. He's not going to get vaccinated.
He's going to play.
If he doesn't get vaccinated, bro, it would be so annoying.
Yeah. He'll play.
He better play.
Who cares if you're an anti-vaxxer? If you're giving me points, I don't care. So after D-Hop, we see A.J. Brown go off the board.
All right, this is a pretty obvious pick for me. Everyone kind of hates on this guy just because of the name, but he has just a massive workload waiting for him this year, and that's Joe Mixon.
Joseph Mixon, yes, sir. I like that pick.
Why do you like Joe Mixon?
I think Burrow is going to get eased into the offense early in the season, and Gio's gone, so the receiving work out of the backfield is wide open. I don't think Samaje Perine is competing at all. This guy has like 250 touches waiting for him and like 70, 80 targets. It's going to be insane.
No.
But people just hate him because he's Joe Mixon.
Yeah, that's a great point. People hate Joe Mixon because it's Joe Mixon because what he's done to them in the past, which, I mean, rightfully so. If you've rostered Joe Mixon, I mean, I'm sure that it's just been pain after pain.
I've never rostered Joe Mixon before, but I still don't really like him. I haven't really seen it from him that he has that it factor that can really like propel you to a win on a week.
He might not have that. I mean, but think about it like this. Say the Bengals already did improve their offensive line a little bit. I mean, just for Mix. I mean, I just know they have. I mean, I can't think of any name.
They should have.
From what I've read, they have. But yeah, obviously, for Mixon's fantasy value, Penei Sewell would have been. I mean, we would have loved for them to have taken him, but even without him, I mean, the volume is just going to be. I mean, he's going to be one of the 5-6 true 3-down workhorse running backs in the NFL this season. I mean,
he's so inconsistent though. Like last year,
I mean that is true. He could be. I mean, we don't. Let's see. I mean, if is he inconsistent or not? But the volume is just the one thing we know for sure that he's going to get is the volume. That's why you can justify taking him.
He's not shown that he can do special things with that volume though.
I mean, we'll see this year, I guess.
I guess
one last ride.
I mean, he's gonna get more receiving work this year too.
Yeah, because Gio's gone too. I mean, he's had Gio with him.
I think people underestimate how annoying Gio was.
Gio Bernard was so annoying last year.
Yeah,
it's not good.
I guess we'll see. So Dant though, off to a pretty hot start with McCaffrey and Mixon, 2 values falling to him. After Mixon goes, we see Najee Harris and Justin Jefferson go off at the turn.
All right, the hot start is going to keep getting hotter because somehow Calvin Ridley is still here. This guy's ceiling is like wide receiver 3, 4, and his floor is like wide receiver 7, 8. So
honestly, his ceiling is like wide receiver 1. I mean, Julio's not there, so the sky's the limit.
Maybe, possibly. But yeah, I mean, Calvin Ridley in the top of the 3rd round when you already have 2 workhorse running backs, that's a pretty good start.
Yeah. After Calvin Ridley goes off the board, we see J.K. Dobbins go off the board, putting Trey on the clock.
So here I have a couple decisions. I have a couple choices here. I could go. This is what I normally do, like in like a like every other draft. probably go CEH here just because of he's a great running back and he's obviously in a great offense. Or maybe DeAndre Swift even. He's going to see an increased role this year. Maybe even Keenan Allen. But I'm going to go George Kittle here. I don't normally do this, but George Kittle at 3-4 might be a bit early, but he's a wide receiver 1 at tight end, and
Okay.
I don't have to draft the tight end for the rest of the draft pretty much. So I just like not having to worry about the position pretty early. So I'm going to go with George Kittle here.
I don't know that he provides that wide receiver 1 stuff at the potential at the tight end position. That's more of like a Travis Kelce thing. He's more of like that high end wide receiver 2. But he is going to be that elite tight end. However, I have to disagree with who you decide to pick at the tight end position. I'm going to pick the guy who I think you should have picked. That's going to be Darren Waller.
Darren
Kittle?
Waller. I would have taken Waller as well.
Me, yeah, definitely.
Okay, okay. All right. George Kittle is more like, while he is a good receiving tight end, he could be a better blocker than he is a receiver. He is in that 49ers offense. They don't focus on throwing him the ball. They love to utilize his run blocking ability. And there's also games that he's pretty inconsistent. If you look at his game logs, he's not the most consistent player.
You can't look at last year though. I mean, if you look at his game logs, right? He had one game. All right, look at his 2020 game logs, right?
Uh-huh.
His PPR is what is
How
it?
do we look at Darren Waller's while you're at it though?
Yeah, but Darren Waller's obviously not going to
Darren
be
Waller's
injured.
better.
No,
The thing about
better.
Darren Waller is the
me,
only target in that offense. George Kittle has Iuke, and they love to run the ball.
And Debo.
But he's
George
so much
Kittle
more
is
talented.
George Kittle is the overall better tight end, but for fantasy
Yes.
purposes, it's got to be Waller, just because. I honestly think Waller's probably a better receiver than Kittle is, not by a lot, but he is, and he's got no competition for targets.
Yep, he's that number. He's a number 1 target in that Raiders offense. And who else is Derek Carr going to throw to? It's going to be Darren Waller in that.
Henry
It's
Ruggs.
not even close. It's not even close. He's so
I mean,
far.
he could throw to Henry Ruggs tree, but what have we seen from Henry Ruggs that gets you
the
excited?
Raiders are a run-heavy offense. I'm not saying the Niners are not.
No, they're not. They're not super run heavy.
Raiders are. Who are you throwing to if you're not running the ball? How are you not a run-heavy offense?
You're throwing to Darren Waller
so much.
They're just dysfunctional. We had imagined.
Yeah, they're dysfunctional. We took Alex Leatherwood in the first round, guys. Come on,
they
now.
are about. They're like
Can't be doing
Texans
that,
level
it's true.
dysfunction.
Yeah,
it's bad.
It's okay, Sharif. We all make mistakes.
Okay.
All right. After Darren Waller, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Michael Thomas, which is that's a horrible pick right now after what we've heard about his injury, and then Miles Sanders all go off the board.
For me, I mean, I think this is honestly, with just how much talent is left on the board, it's honestly sort of becoming a tough spot to pick from. I mean, I have to take a wide receiver here, so I'll address that first. I'm going to take Keenan Allen. I like Terry McLaurin. I like Allen Robinson too, but Keenan Allen, he's just guaranteed such high volume in the Chargers offense. I think he's guaranteed over 100 receptions, over 1,000 yards. Justin Herbert loves the guy, so he's going to have a great year. And then, I'm kind of torn here. Do I want to take a running back? Do I want to take a wide receiver? I think I'm going to go a wide receiver just because I think I've already got 2 pretty solid, pretty reliable running backs. And I'm going to go with Terry McLaurin here because with Ryan Fitzpatrick stepping in, I do expect the Washington offense to take a significant jump and McLaurin to be a part of that. I think he's got top 10 upside for the season.
After Terry McLaurin goes, we see DeAndre Swift go off. He was a guy I really wanted to pick at my next pick. And then Josh Jacobs and Josh Allen also. Both the Shuas go off the board. And for me, I think it might be time to go a little 0 wide receiver strat. If you guys watched the last mock draft, I picked 0 running backs until I think it was the 6th or 7th round. And then now I think today I might end up going with a 0 wide receiver strat. But it's because of the value that I see on the board with Chris Carson. Chris Carson in the middle of the 4th round is just such an easy pick for me because he's gonna be so solid for you. He's not gonna finish any lower than RB 20 ever. He gets that receiving work. He's the goal line back there. He's gonna get in Seattle, which is gonna be a pretty high scoring offense. And Chris Carson has shown that he has the talent. They re-signed him to a deal. I just love getting Chris Carson right here in the middle of the 4th as my 3rd running back. So yeah. After Chris Carson, Mike Evans was up the board.
I wanted Chris Carson, but That's unfortunate.
Okay.
I really need an RB2 here, but the options are David Montgomery and then Darrell Henderson. Demont he would be a good pick, but I just don't like him. So it's a pretty weird pick here.
You could end the slide of Allen Robinson.
I would.
Oh,
I'm
you going
thinking of doing
QB,
that.
bro? QB fact?
No, I'm not picking a QB early in this draft.
Mm,
Yeah, I took enough damage with George Kittle already. I can't afford to.
Amari Cooper fact.
I'll go Allen Robinson here.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Interesting. Allen Robinson, number one guy in the Bears offense, got franchise tag. Good pick. I think that's a pretty solid pick, especially as your wide receiver too. After Allen Robinson goes, Julio Jones gets off the board. Again, Dant with all these values. Come on now.
This is kind of crazy that I'm getting David Montgomery here. I mean,
Yeah.
this
What a
guy,
slide for him.
this guy
At
is going to get
39.
a lot more touches this year. I think their passing game might be a little
Not more.
inconsistent.
I don't think he's gonna get more touches.
I-
His receiving work's gonna go down.
Well, he could get more
Cohen's
touches
coming
though
back.
because
Cohen's coming
Nagy
back.
came out specifically.
No, Cohen is
He
dead.
said this twice now.
Tariq
Yeah,
Cohen is
dead.
done.
Cohen is dead. Yeah,
Tariq
You know,
actually,
Cohen
yeah,
is
Matt
dead.
Nagy has said it
Scratch
twice
that.
now. They want to
He
get
could get
David
more.
Montgomery 20 carries a game, and he
Davey
said that
Williams.
twice now. So I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
who
that's
knows?
cool. That's very cool. I don't care what he says. But
I mean, he said it twice now. I mean, he clearly believes in it.
that's honestly good for him, man. Really good for him. But David Montgomery, I love that pick right now, especially at the 4.9 phenomenal value. Hey, after David Montgomery goes, Cooper Kupp and Chris Godwin go.
Yeah, so I really wanted Cooper Kupp here. I love Cooper Kupp. Looking at the wide receivers, I see Amari Cooper, who he's already injured. DJ Moore, he's one of the I just hate DJ Moore. I think he's so inconsistent, and we don't know about Sam Darnold. So I'm really deciding between Robert Woods and Jamar Chase here. Oh, never mind. I see CeeDee Lamb, who's still somehow on the board. This guy has potential to be a wide receiver 1 too. So I'm gonna take CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Make sure you
I
check
want to
out
get
the bold predictions video by Maggie. Hear more about CD Lamb.
Oh, his picks are insane. Oh
That
my
is
god.
that is
He's
crazy.
getting great value. Getting great value everywhere.
After CD Lamb, Robert Woods goes off the board. Freeze on the clock. Pick your boy Amari, but come on now.
I'm starting to hate this team with every pick.
Double tight ends, pitch back.
Take Pitts, honestly.
Honestly, no,
Big Gaskin.
I'm not doing that.
Darrell
I need
Henderson.
an RB2. Handy would be a decent pick here, but there's just
Reem.
so much
Pick Reem,
up in
you
the
have to
air
be
with
better.
him.
Well,
Big Reem.
It's just awful here. I could.
Gaskin, bro.
I'm telling you.
I'm thinking about taking Gaskin.
Pitts
Wide
is the
receivers
wave.
here.
Come on, pick Pitts.
No.
Double tight end.
Pitts as your
For
flex,
the
bro. Think of
culture.
Pitts as your flex.
Exactly.
Why
No,
is he
Pitts
always
as
doing
your
this?
flex.
I need an RB because if I don't pick
It's
here,
cool, but
it's
you offer your
Javante.
flex.
It's
You should
Javante
have taken
after this.
Demont. I don't know why you didn't take
I-
Demont.
Yeah,
Yeah.
why
I don't
would
know
you
why you
pick
took
Allen
Kittle
Robinson?
before.
Why
That
would
was
you pick
weird.
Allen Robinson before Demon?
Truly
It's not
weird
going
stuff.
good. I'm gonna take Gaskin.
Truly weird.
Okay. All right. So after that whole debacle, Myles Gaskin is off the board, and then Darrell Henderson follows him. So Amari Cooper has followed me, and no, I'm not picking Amari Cooper. I have been scarred too many times by this man. He's done so much damage to my heart, everything. I don't like Amari Cooper. However, I do love Kyler Murray this year. Kyler Murray, if you guys haven't you didn't know, through week 11 last year, he got injured in week 12. He had that shoulder injury. Through week 11, this man was on pace for 485 fantasy points. That is the most amount of fantasy points ever scored by a player. Like no one has ever even touched that. When Lamar Jackson had his record-breaking year 2 years ago, he got 415 fantasy points. So even like at where Kyler Murray is going right now, he's top 3 quarterback. Not consensus, but he's in that tier. I think he could still be a league winner at that position. What Kyler Murray can do with his legs, he can rush for 1,000 yards and double-digit touchdowns, and then add that on to his passing work, which is going to be great considering they drafted Rondale Moore. They brought in AJ Green. AJ Green is not that good, but it shows that they want to commit to passing the ball more. and they have DeAndre Hopkins. Christian Kirk is still there. I love Kyler Murray this year. I think he could be an absolute steal, even though he's going in the 5th round as the 3rd quarterback off the board. So after Kyler Murray goes off the board, Mark Andrews, Kareem Hunt, and Travis Etienne go off the board. So Team 9 picks a bench running back before they even pick their wide receiver 2. Interesting strategy. Who knows? Hey, John's on the clock.
ETN was one of the 2 guys I was hoping to get with my picks here because I think the upside for him is it's undeniable. I mean, if you don't take a guy in the 1st round and not use him, obviously I didn't get him, so I won't go talking too much about him. I'm gonna end Amari Cooper slide here. I can't believe I'm getting him at pick 50. No, I can't believe I'm getting Cooper at pick 50. I would pick Cooper in the middle of the 4th round, pick 35, pick 36. That's where I take him. Mike Evans got taken over him. I would take Cooper over him. With Dak Prescott, Cooper was just phenomenal last year. So I think he will have a great season as long as he stays healthy. And I'm gonna take another running back. So honestly, what I'm realizing right now is picking at pick 10. It's very valuable because you can start your draft with 3 good receivers and 3 pretty good running backs. Here I'm gonna go with Javonte Williams. I mean, I would rather him than just any of the other guys, though, like James Robinson and Melvin Gordon, because Williams, again, I think he's got the upside. I think he's honestly got very similar upside to what ETN has, maybe a little less because he doesn't have the chemistry that ETN has with Trevor Lawrence, or honestly probably the talent of ETN. But Williams is still a very good player, a guy who I do think will surpass Melvin Gordon for the lead job eventually in this offense. So I like getting him here.
I don't think that's a reach at the top of the 6th round, especially the 10-team league. Pick 51 for Javonte Williams, who might not see the field consistently until the middle of this year.
That's okay for me because my first 2 running backs, Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, I think they're going to be very stable for me, guys who I don't really need to worry about. And because I've already got my flex spot locked in with Amari Cooper. So, I mean, I'm just taking Williams right now solely for the upside and the league winning factor that he could provide me down the stretch of the season.
Maybe, I know, but picking him at the top of the 6th, I feel like you're investing too much into someone who might not play on a consistent basis until, the middle of this end of the season. But that's
the only running back I maybe would have considered over him is Mike Davis, and maybe I could have taken a tight end or a quarterback, but I just think I'd rather the upside of Williams and wait on a quarterback and tight end rather than let him slip. Huh?
What about Jamar Chase?
Well, I mean, I don't really need another wide receiver. Like I said, I've already gotten my 3 wide receiver locked in with Allen, McLaurin, Cooper. Chase is obviously a great value here, but I just don't really think I need him just based on the way my team's coming together. So, and I'd rather Williams not risk not having him come back to me at 70 and 71.
All right. Well, after Javonte Williams, Kyle Pitts, Russell Wilson, and DJ Moore go off the board. And for me, looking at my team, I still have 0 wide receivers. I have Kyler, Saquon, Antonio Gibson, Darren Waller, and Chris Carson. And for me, I think Deontay Johnson is going to be my wide receiver 1. Honestly, last year, during the season, he was a wide receiver 1. I've repeated myself so many times by saying this, but I love the value that Deontay Johnson is right now. You should take advantage of it because he's going in the 5th, 6th round. He's going around there. And Deontay Johnson, he is a target monster. He's easily going to hit 150 targets this year if he plays all 17 games. Easily he'll hit 150 targets. And with that, who knows? Maybe it turns into 100, 110 receptions. In a PPR league, that is just so unbelievably valuable. And, maybe his touchdowns will also improve. His yardage will improve. I think that's obviously going to happen. And, if you start off your team, you fill out your positions, all the other positions, basically. You have a strong starting lineup. Deontay Johnson as your wide receiver 1. I honestly am completely okay with it. So after Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen goes up.
I can't believe I'm getting Lamar Jackson right here in the middle of the 6th round. It's just crazy, and it's a no-brainer. Lamar Jackson, he's just insane for fantasy. And I don't see any regression coming his way anytime soon, especially with the more.
What do you mean?
Like you might think
last year.
Any more regret? He's definitely bound. If you count last year a dud, right? He still finished as a top 10 quarterback. If you count last year as a dud, I guess.
It was.
He was the QB9. He was the QB9.
Yeah, but look at how he finished last year. He's 25, 34, 20, 25.
No, he's definitely going to be good this year. I'm just saying last year was not it.
Yeah.
All right. There's no way he does worse than last year.
There's a way.
Absolutely no way.
If he gets injured.
Better
He stopped
receiving
running.
core. Better receiving core. Running back core is pretty much the same. There's literally nothing, and there's no COVID
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah,
So
I'm just messing. Lamar's a great pick right there. Mid and sixth round. I love that pick right there, especially for your team. After Lamar goes off the board, James Robinson.
Yeah, so I really wanted Lamar, but I see something better, and that is the last good tight end, and that's TJ Hawkinson. This guy, I think he had 100 targets last year, somewhere around that. Yeah, he had 101 targets last year, and like 200 targets have been freed in this offense. He's the only real receiving threat there, so I'm going to take TJ Hawkinson.
Hey, don't forget about Amon-Ra.
Oh, yeah, and Amon-Ra, my bad. And I would have liked to take – oh, never mind.
Yeah. Tyler Lockett and Dak Prescott go after TJ Hawkinson.
I would have liked to take Dak here, but he gets picked before me, and I think it's a bit too early for Herbert. But I see Jamar Chase here, and this guy's upside is like it does things to me. How much upside this guy has? So I'm gonna take Jamar Chase.
Yo,
Relax.
Right.
You want to specify what it does to you?
Justin Herbert.
It gives me a tingling feeling like everywhere. Like this guy has insane upside. Like it's Justin Jefferson level upside from last year.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. After Justin, then we see Justin Herbert go off the board. So Shree, make your pick, bro.
this kid.
He's picking Odell. I'm predicting you.
What about your breakout? Devonta.
I would take Devontae, but with the condition of my running backs right now, if Myles Gaskin doesn't turn out the way he's supposed to, I kind of need a backup, and I got backup with high upside. So I'm gonna go Mike Davis here. It's Mike Davis. Let's not forget what he did when Christian McCaffrey was injured. This guy was moving piles of people by himself, and he's
inconsistent.
It doesn't matter if he's all right.
I mean, was he
inconsistent?
I mean, he was.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was
odd.
very inconsistent.
No. Mike Davis, the way I'll put him is he was weird because he gave you 3 weeks of 20, and then 4 weeks of 8, and then another 2 weeks of like 20. So
in my
he was
book,
just a very
that counts
odd
as
guy.
That's you're just saying he's inconsistent.
I mean,
Okay.
it was like
If Todd
inconsistent, but
Gurley-
in like a weird way.
if
No, and
Todd
I love
Gurley-
Mike.
Inconsistent in a weird way. It's still inconsistent.
All right.
Wait, what were you
If
saying about
Todd
Todd Gurley?
If Todd Gurley was able to put up 14, 19, 25, 21, 13 in the Falcons
He did.
offense, I don't see
Yeah, Todd
why
Gurley was
Mike
something else,
Davis.
though.
I don't know why Mike Davis can. I don't see why Mike Davis can't put up more. And the Falcons, they struggled in the red zone last year, and Mike Davis is the solution for that struggle. He's a big
Is
body
he?
guy.
Facts.
He's a big
Facts.
body guy. Can plow through
Facts.
people, and he's like a modern day CJ Anderson.
Wow.
So I'll go Mike Davis.
That
All
is
right, All right.
okay if you say so.
What, you think CJ Anderson's a good player, bro?
No, I'm saying Mike Davis is much better than CJ Anderson.
Is he though? What have you seen from Mike Davis that makes you think he's better?
We're about to
No,
see this
not-
year. We're
not
about
like-
to see it
Yeah,
this year.
Mike Davis about to turn up. Don't sleep. All right, move on.
He, Kenny Galladay is just such a value at this point. In the middle of the 7th round, Kenny Galladay is just a guy who he does have double-digit touchdown upside, but Daniel Jones is the one throwing him the football, so there's a bit of a issue there. But I'm just gonna take that risk. Actually, looking at my team, I have Saquon. I don't want to stack Giants. I'm not about that life. Let's go. I like Brandon Iuke as well. I think this year Brandon Iuke could be a breakout candidate. Actually, no, he broke out last year. He had 8 performances in the top 20 last year. That was in the top 5 in the entire NFL. 8 top 20 finishes in the wide receiver position. Brandon Iuke, I feel like this year, even though last year the 49ers dealt with some injuries and that could be a reason why Iuke was played as well as he did last year. Iuke was a rookie, and now he's going to be a sophomore wide receiver. And as we've seen in the past, we have like a large sample size now. Sophomore wide receivers are the players who break out at the highest rate. So I love Brandon Iuke in the middle of the center.
Hey, sophomore slump. No cap.
No one sophomore slumps anymore. All right, Melvin Gordon, T. Higgins, and Kenny Galladay go off the boards. Kenny Galladay's slide ends at the end of the 7th round.
That's tough. I was hoping I could get either Higgins or Galladay here, but
Think
they're
about
both
Odell.
gone.
You're gonna pick
Yeah,
Odell?
no.
OBJ.
Yeah. I am going to take Odell here because
How
Nice.
about Edmonds back?
Edmonds.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
look at the. I'm not going to be hasty. Let's take a look at the
Okay,
board.
I got both your picks. Let's go, baby.
How are you not picking
Edmonds,
Odell right now?
I'm good.
He's
Tight end, I
there's
can
no
wait on. There's a guy I want later on for tight end. So
You don't.
I'm going to take
Odell.
Odell. I'm going to
nice.
take Odell, yeah. Guy who's being taken at his floor, wide receiver, like 27, 28. I mean, he's not finishing lower than that. There's only upside with Odell.
If he stays healthy.
If he stays healthy, yeah. The only downside is the injury concern. And then you know what? I will take a tight end here just because I don't want to wait much longer. I'll take Noah Fant. He's got a lot of upside, especially we saw already had a solid season last year. If Teddy Bridgewater steps in, he's kind of an underneath guy. It's where Fant tends to play. Could have a good year.
You're not about the Aaron Rodgers life, bro?
No, I'll wait on a quarterback.
All right. Well, after Noah Fant, Aaron Rodgers, Juju, and Leonard Fournette on the board. And for me, I'm looking at the running backs available, and there's Edmonds who just stands out above the rest, like Raheem Mostert, Ronald Jones, Kenyon Drake, these type of guys. Looking at wide receiver, there is a guy I like a lot, and that's Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson, like he is just so talented, and what he did last year, 95 receptions, over 1,100 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He is bound to positively regress to the mean, at least when it comes to touchdowns, because he had terrible touchdown luck last year. I think that could go up, and then his yards and his if his yards and receptions should stay constant, he's gonna have a great fantasy season. He's gonna be a solid wide receiver too, I think. But after Anderson, DJ Chark.
Here, most likely gonna go wide receiver here. I could take Chase Edmonds, but I just like to avoid 2 running backfields with more than 1 running back. I really just don't like that. Especially with Kyler Murray in there too. He was great. He was great in the rushing department for touchdowns in the beginning of last season. And if he's looking to return to form, I don't like Edmonds or any of the Cardinals running backs there. So for wide receiver here, I'm going to go with Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy might be a bit of a questionable pick here because his quarterback situation is not ideal, but he's a great route runner. I think he's going to come back he's going to overcome his last season, which is not that impressive really, but I think he's just a great candidate for a breakout.
After Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, his teammate, goes up the board.
Yeah, so here I already have 3 pretty good running backs, but I think I'm gonna grab another one, and that's Chase Edmonds. This guy, he has a lot of receiving. He will get a lot of receiving work. It's just rushing work that concerns me, especially with Kyler and James Conner there, but it's worth taking him to see what he could potentially become.
After Edmonds, Claypool, and Mostert.
And now I'm going to take my quarterback. And looking at quarterback, I see Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts. Obviously, Tom Brady is better than the rest, the other 3. Joe Burrow is probably going to start off the year slow. Lawrence is a rookie, and Hurts, there's just too much dysfunction in Philadelphia. And Brady, I mean, he just never regresses. This guy is just going to be good for like at least another year, maybe 2.
Brady this year, especially at where he's going in drafts right now. He's gonna be he could be a top 5 quarterback. So we'll see what he can do this year. Jalen Waddle goes after Tom Brady.
Here, it's not really ideal what I have going on right here. I could take another wide receiver in Debo, or yeah, I could maybe take another wide receiver in Debo, but I'm not really feeling that. Could take Kenyon Drake from the Raiders. Don't need tight ends. It's a rather weird pick I have going on here. I'm actually gonna end up taking Michael Carter here. Michael Carter actually had a really impressive post-off season, and he got a lot of praise from Robert Saleh. And who knows, he could be the rushing attack there in Zach Wilson's offense in the Jets. So that's just more of just seeing what turns out there.
I have to disagree with that pick because you have Damian Harris sitting on the board for me. Damian Harris this year, He's obviously going to be the starting running back for the Patriots, and the Patriots are going to be a run-heavy team. There's not really much else to it. Damian Harris is going to be, especially in the 9th round where you can possibly get him, is a phenomenal value. So Sheree, I don't know if you didn't see him or something.
I did not see him. I didn't see him.
Yeah, Damian Harris, I think should easily go above Michael Carter and like go with that guy.
Damn,
Definitely.
I thought it was David Johnson. I was like, never mind.
Good fumble.
So after Damian Harris, Kenyon Drake, Ronald Jones, and Brandon Cooks go off the board. John, you gonna pick your QB yet?
Yeah, we'll see. I was hoping to get Carter or Harris with one of these picks, maybe both. I don't know what I would have done if they were both here, but I obviously can't get either of them now. I want to secure a 4th running back, though, for sure. I'm going to go with Trey Sermon. He's a guy. 49ers have an extremely run-heavy offense. Jeff Wilson's hurt, so it's either going to be him or Mostert. That does get the bulk of the carries, and whoever the 49ers lead back is, we know will be productive. That's just how the 49ers offense is. Whoever the lead back is does a great job with it. So, I mean, I'm banking on it being Sermon with this pick, or at least eventually being Sermon. I think he's got the upside as well. So if he does get the job, so yeah. And then I will take a quarterback here. I'm going to take Jalen Hurts. I think he's got top 5 upside because of his rushing ability. I think he could be this year's Kyler Murray, this year's Lamar Jackson, the guy who has a decently impressive rookie season, but then absolutely explodes in his second season with his rushing ability. He's one of 3 guys who truly could get 1,000 rushing yards as a quarterback. So yeah.
Yeah, so after Jalen Hurts, James Conner, Laviska Shenault, and then the guy that I wanted, Deebo Samuel, go off the board. And so now looking at my team, I have 4 running backs, and I'm completely all right with starting week to week. So I think I can just hammer out wide receivers the rest of the draft, considering I already have my quarterback and my tight end. So I'm going to go here.
Good fumble. Yes, sir. Okay.
Click the X. Yeah.
Team me up.
Whatever. You know, stuff happens, man. Stuff happens. All right. But after that, looking at the wide receivers on the board, there are a few guys that I like here. But I think I'm going to go with Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown definitely has a lot of upside because he could take over a role in that Bucs offense. We saw him last year. They tried to involve him. They tried to give him as many touches as possible. Like in the final weeks of the regular season, we could see he had some massive games. Antonio Brown, I could see him becoming a top 24, top 30 type wide receiver, and that's going to be a value here in the middle of the 10th round. So after that, Antonio Brown pick Tyler Boyd.
I'm going to go ahead and take David Johnson here. Hopefully he has some talent left in the tank to break out. Just hopefully has some talent. Just do something, like anything.
So Gesicki goes after David Johnson.
All right, so I have, again, 3 pretty good wide receivers. But I'm going to take Big William Fuller right here. He is suspended, I think, for the first game of the season. And he is playing with Tua. But I think his talent should win out, even though Tua is just kind of a mid-quarterback. Will Fuller has a lot of talent. And the other guy I'm going to take here is probably the most disrespected wide receiver one on his team, other than maybe Nelson Aguilar. And that's Corey Davis. They paid him to be the one in New York. And even if it's not like compared to like ones on other teams, I think he showed a lot to us last year, and he's making like 40 mil.
So after Corey Davis goes, Trevor Lawrence goes off the board. And also I forgot to mention Jarvis Landry and Joe Burrow went in between Dant, Fuller, and Corey Davis pick. Yeah, Shree's back on the clock. And his boy Marquise Brown's on the board.
Yes, sir. You already know I'm about to take Marquise Brown. But recent reports came out that Mark Andrew, Ravens tight end, said that Marquise Brown is going to shock the world. And where have we heard this? Where have we heard this before? No. Where have we heard this before? Well, we heard Nate Robinson tweeted out before he got dropped by Jake Paul.
Oh.
We saw influencer Deji tweeted out before he got destroyed by this other TikTok guy. And so it's not really a good sign when somebody's gonna shock the world. But I'm just gonna take him regardless. It's pointless.
Right. Yes. Curtis Samuel fell to me after Marquise Brown, Gronk was off the board. But Curtis Samuel, bro, I'm so excited to have Curtis Samuel. I was considering picking him at my last 10th round pick with my 10th round pick last round.
Okay, go crazy.
Curtis Samuel, bro.
Yeah, Curtis Samuel, he has some upside in that Washington offense. And Ryan Fitzpatrick's there. They're going to throw the ball a little bit more. And while I do have Antonio Gibson, I feel comfortable rostering both Curtis Samuel and Antonio Gibson. Yeah, I think he has some solid upside. After Curtis Samuel, Matthew Stafford, Robert Tonyan, and then Deshaun Watson, who recently said wild sighting of him at training camp.
He's gonna play.
Yeah, me here. I doubt this guy will be available at my next pick. And at this point, I mean, a lot of the other guys are just sort of flyers. I'm going to take Ryan Tannehill. I know I already took Hurts, but Tannehill, just in case Hurts doesn't pan out and maybe Tannehill takes a leap to the MVP conversation this season with the addition of Julio Jones to that offense. And we already know Tannehill's already a very talented player as well. So just taking him sort of as an in case Hurts doesn't work out option / what if for Tannehill becoming a great player. So, yeah. And then
imagine being a Logan Thomas fan, bro. Imagine being a Logan Thomas fan.
Imagine not being a Logan Thomas fan.
Nah. You're a fan of Logan Thomas.
You know what? No, I won't do it. I'm gonna take AJ Dillon here to insure Aaron Jones to get my insurance on Aaron Jones. But if I didn't have Aaron Jones, if I had a guy who maybe doesn't have a very good backup, I would take Logan Thomas there.
Nah, bro, Logan Thomas is not the wave. I'm telling you, there's nothing he's shown of anything. He's not that good. Yeah.
Dude, look at his end of the season stats.
Good for him, bro. There was so much wrong with the Washington team. Gibson was hurt. Alex Smith was starting. Terry McLaurin was hurt. It was all bad in Washington at that point. Of course, they had to involve
Bro went
Logan
crazy.
Thomas. Bro, he's a 30-year-old who used to play quarterback. He's not good.
How does that matter?
Is that actually
he's
true?
not good.
He is 30.
He
is 30.
Wait, he's 30?
Yes.
There's no way.
He's 30.
He didn't sign an extension, though. That's good for him.
Oh, my God.
He finishes the number 3 tight end, though.
That's good for him. That's
all
because Gibby was
He
hurt.
also finished as the 452nd tight end once, so who knows?
How is it even possible? That's like 10 tight ends. Oh, my God. That's crazy. All right. Let's look at the wide receivers available. There's Rashad Bateman, Michael Pittman, Darnell Mooney fact, Elijah Moore fact. What are you laughing about?
The fact that this guy managed to finish over 400 at tight end.
All right. Well, for me, I really want to pick Mike Williams. So I'm in a pickle now. I guess I'll just go with my boy, not my boy, fuck you, but Zach Moss. Maybe he wins the Buffalo Bills starting running back job. Who knows? Maybe he's a value in the middle of the 12th round. Also, could be droppable. Who knows? Yeah. Naheem Hines goes after Zach Moss.
So here,
Thomas, if you're real. Pick him
no. Here you already know I'm picking my boy, Henry Ruggs. This guy, he's the number one wide receivers in the Raiders offense, right? He's so fast. He's a deep threat, and he can be thrown underneath passes. Why not use him?
The next Marquise Brown.
Great player in Madden, and just an all-around just great guy,
OP in Madden.
Why wouldn't you take him? There's no
because he is undersized.
Because he's the next John Ross.
Yeah, he's undersized. He hasn't shown he can do anything.
He's the next Tyreek Hill.
Why?
Okay. On that note, to continue the weirdness, I'm gonna do something. So I don't recommend any of you do this, but this is such a weird pick. I'm taking Devontae Booker here because Saquon Barkley might not play for the first 2 weeks. Why are you trying to
steal my handcuffs?
Never be this weird. Never steal others' handcuffs. But I'm taking Devontae.
No, do steal others' handcuffs. You can piss them off and make them trade with you.
Exactly.
Nah, I'm not trading for Devontae Booker. Thank you. Nah, you keep Devontae Booker. I'll wait for you to drop him.
Next, I'm going to take.
No. Let's talk about Irv Smith and Logan Thomas following that.
Wow. Ending the slide.
What slide, bro? He should go undrafted. This man,
Cap.
Bro, Logan Thomas, no, just no. All right, who are you picking, Dante?
Well, I can't leave any draft without this guy, and that's Big Traquan Smith. This guy is the wide receiver 1 in the Saints offense. Like, it's really going to be different for Kwan this year.
Not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Bro,
No, it is a good thing. Watch.
Bro, Alvin
I'm
Kamara is the wide receiver 1 in that
He's,
offense.
he's not shown anything in the past 3 years.
I'm predicting 70 catches, 1,000 yards, and like 8 touchdowns.
You should know.
Okay.
Trey
Okay.
Bold
Kwan
prediction season is like
Bold prediction
Stephon Diggs
season?
this year,
What
bro.
is
Just
wrong
find
with you?
him.
Nah,
Telling
Paper
you.
B goes after Trey Kwan Smith. That abomination of a pick. Why not? So Shree, who are you trying to pick?
I don't know who to take here. I'm gonna take Hunter Henry.
Okay.
After
I
Hunter Henry,
guess.
you
Okay.
said you were gonna pick George Kittle, so you don't have to pick a backup tight end.
Until the
But
later
here we
rounds.
are.
It's round
Why would
13,
you-
all right?
Why would you pick a backup tight end? That's such a waste. All right, Justin Fields goes after Hunter Henry. Why is everyone here bad? No, you know who's not bad?
Amon-Ra.
Yes, sir. Amon-Ra
Nice.
St. Brown season.
Nice.
Ending the slide right there. That's a real slide we got to be talking about. Amon-Ra St. Brown. Better draft him and take him in all your drafts. He could be he's going to be a breakout candidate this year. Number 1 target in that Lions offense. It's going to have to throw the ball. It's going to have to throw the ball a lot. But yeah, after Amon-Ra goes, Michael Pittman, Tony Pollard, and Darnell Mooney go off the board. And then John, let's talk about your next pick.
Yeah, I think Elijah Moore. I mean, there's been nothing but good things being said about this guy from Jets camp. I mean, everything coming out of camp is that they're impressing him with his work ethic, his skill set. I mean, that he looks like a superstar. I mean, he's got the upside. Obviously, the offense is, just terrible. You can't put it any other way. But with the addition of Zach Wilson as the quarterback now, Robert Saleh as the head coach, maybe Elijah Moore could emerge as a weekly flex down the stretch.
Yeah, so we're just picking defenses at this point now. So
oh shit! I need a defense. Yeah, you know what? Screw defense. I'm not going with the defense. I'm going with Adam Troutman.
No.
My boy. The Michael Thomas gone now too. I was taking this guy before Michael Thomas was gone, but now that Thomas is gone, too. Troutman's my boy.
Sure. I'll also skip on the defense. I'm gonna go with Russell Gage if I can find him. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Russell Gage. I think he can be the wide receiver too in that Atlanta offense. All right,
now that we're skipping defense, I'm gonna go with Danny Amendola here. Obviously, wide receiver 1 in any format.
Pick. He's not even on a team.
He's gonna be the wide receiver 1 on any team, and you can expect a solid 20 for a week for him.
Since Rohan isn't here, in remembrance of him, I'm gonna take his favorite player, Chuba Hubbard.
Yep. So now let's start. After a funky end of the draft, let's start going over everyone's team. So let's go over who we can already agree on is probably going to have the best team. That's going to be Don. So Don, run through your team real quick.
All right. I have Tom Brady at quarterback, McCaffrey and Mixon as my running back.
Yo, this team is something else.
Calvin Ridley and CeeDee Lamb as my wide receivers. TJ Hawkinson at tight end, David Montgomery at flex.
Jamar Chase on the bench, bro.
Jamar Chase, Will Fuller, Corey Davis, Traquan Smith as my bench wide receivers, and then Chase Edmonds, Devontae Booker, and Chuba Hubbard.
If this is probably the best as your team and your league, you're built different, or you're drafting with a bunch of idiots.
You're winning.
We're clearly drafting with idiots. The sleeper CPU doesn't know what they're doing. So yeah,
that's not even true. Like Don just got so many values, and that's
there's not a weakness on this team.
As soon as Dalvin got picked
not a single
first,
weakness.
Yeah. Dalvin went number 1.
That's what I knew.
There's not a single weak spot. Even the bench.
No defense is a pretty big weakness, I'd say.
Yeah, thanks.
Bro, even Jamar Chase, this man could be a wide
receiver. Jamar Chase. Let me tell you guys, Jamar Chase could be a top 12 wide receiver. He's really different.
Yeah, he's him. Jamar Chase is him.
I honestly don't see.
Jamar Chase is like the Cameron Johnson of the NFL. He's just him.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't listen to this guy.
Let's move on.
Yeah, don't listen to what Arjun has to say ever. Not a good idea.
Cap.
All right, let's go over Shree's team. Shree, you want to run through your team real quick?
I like to say it's not my best draft so far, but I think it's still a solid starting lineup. They can put up a fight. Lamar and Derek. Lamar is great. Derek is a great pick. Gaskin, I don't like. He's a low end, solid RB2, low end RB2. Hop is great. Allen Robinson's great. Kittle is great. Mike Davis needs to make up for what Gaskin does. Hopefully he has a great season. Bench, Jerry Judy's all right. Carter is not. It's tough. Johnson's tough. Marquise Brown is great. Henry Ruggs is great.
Great.
I love Marquise Brown and Henry Ruggs.
Why do you like Marquise Brown?
Hey,
You like
Hunter-
the two players who are both the next John Ross? You got two of the next John Ross.
Yeah. And then Hunter Henry's just irrelevant, and Amendola
He's
is
been
just
playing
great.
too much Madden, bro. He's been playing too much Madden.
Damn.
Facts.
So honestly, RB2 is gonna be a real weakness for you. You have the two guys that they're the two who players and who are starting running backs, and Myles Gaskin and Mike Davis. Like, I have no idea how they're both still starting running backs on an NFL team.
Mike Davis
But
is
here
gonna
we
be
are,
great.
and you have both of them, or they'll both bust, and then you're
Bro, Mike
starting-
Davis is the definition of an ought.
Good for him. He's also inconsistent
No.
in fantasy.
I
Being
think
an ought
this
is
team,
not a good thing.
this team is good. I just think
No,
there was
it's
a lot
not.
of missed opportunities, like taking
Yes.
George Kittle over Waller, and then for some reason taking Allen Robinson over David Montgomery when you only have one
And over
running back.
CD.
Yo, let's go
honestly
take a look
think
at my
CD.
team, bro.
Oh yeah, CD. I almost
Alright,
missed
Allen
next,
him.
let's
Robinson
go
over
over.
CD.
Yeah, honestly, you're in contention for the worst. We've done two
No,
teams.
what?
and
Yeah, look at
you're
one of the
contention for
CPU
the worst.
teams. All right, among us, yes, but the CPU teams are way worse.
Why do we talk about the CPU teams?
Yeah, bro. The
Let's
CPU
go-
took Michael Thomas at 28.
Yeah, let's go over my team now. So I got Kyler
Bro.
Murray, who I love. I love Kyler Murray this year. Then I got Saquon, who's got some risk. Antonio Gibson, who's got safety and a ton of upside. Then Deontay Johnson and Brandon Ayuk, a couple of young wide receivers who I think has the potential to break into that wide receiver.
Yo, this
one.
team is kind of dog water. Not
Bro,
gonna
my
cap.
team's better than this,
Darren
bro.
Waller, who is an elite tight end, and then
Your
Chris
bench is
Carson,
better.
who is very good running back. Then off the
Dude,
bench,
this team's actual dog water.
bro.
Stop saying dog water
Yeah,
unironically.
you sound
bro.
stupid. Then I have Robbie Anderson,
I'm not
the
even
wide
fronting,
receiver
bro.
2 on my bench. Damian Harris, Antonio Brown, Curtis Samuel, Zach Moss, Amon-Ra, and Russell Gage. So I love my bench. I have so much
Your bench is
upside.
great.
and
Dude,
have
I won't
security.
even front. This team is just not it.
Wait, what
Just
do
looking
we
at this
feel
team makes me want to throw up.
The wide
The
receivers.
wide
are-
receivers are kind of rough. I won't lie.
No, the wide receivers
Yeah,
are
I went a
atrocious.
little
Like,
zero
looking at
wide
the wide
receiver.
receivers, I can't believe that. Like, dude, Tree's team is better than this. You have the worst team. I'm not even fronting here.
Yeah.
This team's
Damn.
just not it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
that's-
I like Robbie Anderson as a wide receiver.
Bro,
His bench is better. That's why. his
wide
team's better.
receivers do not matter in fantasy.
Yeah, no, his
honestly.
bench is okay, but
His
just
bench is
like
better than
you got
mine.
Saquon, you got what's Brandon Ayuk doing as your wide receiver too, bro? Come on now.
Brandon Ayuk is so good.
Why is the Deontay your wide receiver one? Deontay.
I have Darren Waller sitting at my tight end, first of all. Then I have Chris Carson as my flex. You
I
know,
just think you're a bit too high on Deontay. That guy's kind of a
Yeah.
little
See, the one
sus.
reason that you know what makes your team better than Trees is the fact that you have Amon-Ra. If you don't have Amon-Ra, this team sucks.
Danny Amendola is way better than that guy.
So let's go finally go
Okay.
over John's team.
This team, my team's nasty.
I think John's team is the best.
My team's it.
There's no way it's better than my team. Simply no way.
Yeah,
it's
it can't be
than
better than Dant's team just because Dant got extreme value and his
I think
Jamar
his
Chase
bench
on
is
his
better
bench.
than. I think his bench is better than Don's bench.
Alright, run through
Okay.
your team, John. Run through your team.
Yeah, I got my boy Hurts, top 5 upside, like I said. Aaron Jones, Austin Eckler, both solid running backs. Keenan Allen, Terry McLaurin. I didn't intend, now that I know, I actually didn't notice until now. I didn't intend for an Eckler, Keenan Allen stack, but, not something I'm going to complain about. Noah Fant, again, a very reliable, safe tight end, I think. Not a guy with a ton of
No, he's
upside,
not.
but
I don't know
he doesn't have a
about
ton of upside, but not a lot of
He's
downside
not very
with Noah
safe
Fant
either.
He gives you a good 8 to 10 a week. That's what I want for my tight end. 8 to 12 a week.
Yeah, he's
And then,
alright.
he's all right. Yeah, not a lot of upside, not a lot of downside. And then Amari Cooper is my flex, which I'm thrilled about. I mean, I would take Amari Cooper as my wide receiver 1 in some leagues if I started with 3 running backs, and I would be very okay with that.
Yeah.
And then my bench, Javonte, I think he's got the potential to be this year's J.K. Dobbins. Cam Akers, it's just Miles Sanders, just a rookie who emerges as a league winner down the stretch. Odell, I think he's been taking at his floor. I like having him on my bench. Trey Sermon, Tannehill, A.J. Dillon as insurance for Aaron Jones, and then Elijah Moore and Adam Trautman, 2 guys who I think could break out.
Don's
Not break out, but
Don's
just
team is
have
better.
great seasons.
Don's team is better, but this is definitely a close second.
Yeah, Don's
Yeah,
team is better. He got great value at every position. You got Christian McCaffrey at pick
Because
2.
Don's bench is just insane. Like Chase
Yeah.
Edmonds and Jamar, that's insane.
You can
And-
see some of us tried to use some like strategies and stuff. I tried to use like a 0 wide receiver strategy, but otherwise this mock it was alright. Dant had a phenomenal mock. I don't know how he got so many values.
Okay.
Arjun is weirding as usual. What?
Dude, I'm not even fronting. Your team sucks.
What goes on in your brain?
You'll get used to this guy if you keep watching.
Yeah. Well,
It takes
guys,
a long time.
Thanks for watching. This is our third or fourth mock draft now. So, thanks for watching.
Have a good
Email
day.
us at you can
Oh my God.
like and subscribe and then like the video. Thanks for watching.